Racism in the United States, 3 credits. Institutions in the United States and their contributions to the growth and development of racism. The impact of the news media, newspapers, magazines, radio, television and books, the unions, public accommodations, education, and the political process. March the 10th, 1986, controversy hits UMBC paper by Glenn Dickinson, the Diamondback scam. It continues, firing splits paper scam. This article was reported by the not know at this point in time is whether or not those acts were effected by the Prejudiced Institute. The Prejudiced Institute conducts investigations, ethno-violence on campus. The UMBC study, 1987, reports the findings, the first case study of ethno-violence on a college campus, focusing primarily on the nature and effects of student victimization and secondary on student perceptions and attitudes. There would be a follow-up study. It would then be called Intergroup Relations on Campus, UMBC, the second study, 1997. This is an executive summary of a follow-up to the original 1986 study designed to investigate the impact of ethno-violence and sexual harassment on students who were directly victimized, as well as those who had only seen or heard about campus incidences. Explore the extent of group defamatory behavior on campus and their impact on students, determine the characteristics of the perpetrators of these incidences, and to examine aspects of the campus climate, particularly student perceptions and attitudes towards various groups. I first learned of the Prejudiced Institute through Hate Crimes, Criminal Law, and Identity Politics by Jacobs and Potter. Number 20, the National Institute Against Prejudice and Violence grew out of Maryland Governor Harry Hughes' 1981 Task Force on Violence and Extremism. The NIAPV conducts research on the causes and effects of hate incidences on individuals and communities, especially colleges and universities. As retrieved from the internet, http://umbc.edu/faculty/pincus/chapter1 pincus.htm 10/24/2005. We sought the support of the UMBC administration and the various representatives on campus. In the spring of 1994, the study was endorsed by the Committees for Racial and Ethnic Justice and the faculty, classified staff and associate staff, senates. The University Steering Committee approved the study for the spring of 1995, as did the president and the provost. The 1995 UMBC study differed from the 1987 study in several important respects. First, we sought a much larger sample. UMBC president, which I will not state his name, sent a very supportive letter to all faculty, encouraging but not requiring them to allow the 20-minute questionnaire to be administered in their classes. We did not have a presidential letter in 1987. If the incidents that occurred on the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, where I was never told that the campus fulfilled the profiles for hate crimes, I would have, one, never have been forced back to the McKeldin Library to Xerox every single catalog since the founding of UMBC. Furthermore, you would not have forced me to the Diamondback, which is not indexed, to pull those articles. Such ends ALBIN 1907. You will never know whether the incidences that transpired on that campus of UMBC in 1987 were influenced by the Prejudiced Institute studies.